So what is a machine? Machine is a tool that makes our work easier. मशीन एक ऐसा टूल होता है जो हमारे वर्क को इजी करता है. Okay, which makes our work easier. The machines we are using at our home, so they makes our work easier. They requires less energy. They requires less efforts. Okay, so simple machines, basically the machines which makes our work easier, these are called the machines. Now machine is of two types, simple machine and complex machine. As I told you, simple machine is made up of single tool which performs the single task. So these all machines are the simple machine which performs the single task and made up of single tool. Then what is a complex machine? Complex machine is made up of two or more simple machine. When the two or more simple machines join together and forms a machine, that machine is called a complex machine. Then we did simple machine is of six types. First is lever, which is used to lift the load. Inclined plane, which is used to lift the heavy load. When we did screw, screw is to hold the objects together. When we used to join something, we use screw at there. Wedge, we used to cutting the things. When we used to cut the things, we are using a wedge. If we want to lift something or very heavy load, then we use pulley. And wheel and axle, when we move a object from one place to another and to move change the direction, we are using a wheel and axle at that place. Now first of all we will discuss what is a complex machine. Complex machine is also called compound machine. Complex machine को compound machine भी बोला जाता है. And compound machine is made up of two or more simple machines, joining of two or more simple machines. Now, here is the example of simple compound machine like wheelbarrow. It is having a levers, it is having wheel and axle. So it is a combination of two simple machines. So it is a compound machine. Pencil sharpener have wedge, wheel and axle, lever. So it is a compound machine. Crane, it is having the pulley, it is having the lever, it is having the wheel and axle to move. So it is a compound machine. Then bulldozer, as it is having lever, front in the wedge, wheel and axle for the moving. So it is a compound machine. Then clipper is having the wedge for cutting, lever to move it. So these are the compound machine. Then accelerator is having pulleys and inclined plane. So these are the compound machines. Okay. Then we did first one is our simple machine is lever. Lever is used to lift the load or makes our work easier. How we make our work easier? Okay. So we are using three objects, fulcrum, load and effort in the lever. There are three types of lever: first class lever, second class lever and third class lever. In the first class lever, we are having fulcrum is in between the load and effort. Okay, we put the load at that place, means we have to put any weight 80 kg, 70 kg in the load, and the efforts which we are trying, these are called our efforts. So in the scissor, we are having fulcrum is in between and load is in the front and effort is on the back. So it is an example of first class lever. Then we did second class lever. What is a second class lever? Second class lever is having the load is in between the effort and the fulcrum. For example, let us see here a nutcracker. Okay, a nutcracker is having the load is in between the effort. Here you are putting the effort and here is the fulcrum. So load is in between the fulcrum and effort. So it is an example of second class lever when there is a load is in between the fulcrum and effort. Then we did third class lever. What is happening in the third class lever? We are having the effort is in between the load and fulcrum. So like it is shown in the figure also, we are taking the load from our hand, we are moving our muscles, these are our efforts, and this is our fulcrum which is helping you to move the object. So this is called an example of third class lever. Like fishing rod is also an example of third class lever. A person putting the load from this end, muscles movement, helping the movement, and fulcrum to move. Okay, so it's fishing rod is also an example of third class lever. Then we did a inclined plane. Inclined plane is used to carry the heavy loads. We are tilt a flat surface at an angle to reduce our efforts. Okay. Now, if we put this from this end to this, so it is too tough for me to carry this load from this place to this. But if I make an inclined plane, a flat surface tilt, it makes our walk easier if we make an angle. So this is an inclined plane when you have to carry the heavy loads. Where we are using this inclined plane, we are using in the ramps in the hospitals, in the public places, slides in the playgrounds, sloping roads and hills. We are having the inclined plane. Then we did wedge. What is the function of wedge? Wedge is used to cutting the things. If you have to cut something, you are using a wedge. Now, who formed the wedge? When you are joining two inclined plane together, this is an inclined plane, and if you join two inclined plane, these are forms of wedge. One end is blunt and one end is sharp. So you can use sharp end for cutting. So where you using wedge, how you use wedge, like axe, chisel, knife, blade are the example of wedge. And what is the definition of wedge? It is formed by joining of two inclined plane in a such a way that one end is blunt while the other one is sharp. Okay, so this is a wedge. So this is new for us. What is a screw? Okay, let us discuss. This is the figure of screw. Now, where we are using this screw? We are using screw to join the objects. जब भी आपको दो objects को आपस में जोड़ना है, if you want to join two wood pieces together, so you are using a screw there. If you want to join two tables or two metal or wood together, so you are using a screw at that place. Now, the number of turns are more, the holding is more strong. If there is number of turns more, अगर ज़्यादा turns होंगे, so their holding will be strong. If less circular these circles, if there is the less cylindrical these paths, so holding will be weak. उतनी ही holding क्या होगी? Weak होगी. So these are the screw which is used to hold something. Okay, when you use to combine something. Now, what is the definition of a screw? Screw is a modified form of inclined plane. It is the modified of inclined plane. It is formed by wrapping an inclined plane over a cylindrical rod. Means you have to put inclined plane on a rod. This is a cylindrical rod and you are putting inclined plane on it. This forms a screw. Okay, screw holds things strongly together. जब भी आपको दो things को आपस में join कराना है, so you are using a screw. Screw are more effective than iron nails. If you are using instead of screw, you are using a iron nail, it is not too effective. Okay, वो उतनी effective नहीं होगी क्योंकि उसके ऊपर circular inclined plane नहीं है. They provide better gripping and more contact area. Okay, as they provide. So they are used to tighten windows with frame. आपको अगर windows को frame के साथ join करना है, so you are using a screw. If you want to tighten chair, tables, beds, doors, so you are using a screw. Now, screw is made up of most common used materials of screw. We use iron for making the screw, steel, aluminium, brass, copper, plastic. So these are the materials of the screw. Okay, now let us do the next one. Understood this thing? What is a screw? Screw is used to holding the objects. Now what is a wheel and axle? First of all, understand this thing. What is a wheel? This is a wheel, okay, and this is a axle. The small circle in between the wheel, this is called an axle. This is a axle and this is a wheel. Now what is happening? Okay, let me take an example of this steering. If you are driving a car, if you drive a car, there is a steering in the car. If you move this wheel, so energy is transferred to this axle. कहाँ जाती है एनर्जी? इस एक्सल के पास. Now axle changes the direction of your car. जब भी आपको लेफ्ट, राइट, फ्रंट, बैक, जहां भी आपको मूव करनी है कार को, सो आपका स्टीयरिंग में जो एक्सल होता है, इट हेल्प्स टू change the direction. You make the force on this wheel and this wheel moves this axle and it moves the direction of the object. Okay, you can't drive a car without the steering or wheel and axle in the car, or in the bicycle you can't ride the bicycle without a steering or without a tire. अगर मैं बेटा एक बाइसिकल से टायर को निकाल दूं, सो इज इट पॉसिबल you ride a bicycle or cycle? Can you ride this? No, because आपको टायर्स की और व्हील एंड एक्सल की जरूरत है किसी भी चीज को मूव कराने के लिए और उनकी डायरेक्शन को चेंज करने के लिए. नाउ लेट अस डिस्कस इट्स डेफिनेशन. व्हाट इज व्हील एंड एक्सल? It is formed by fitting rod on the center of the wheel. आपको एक रोड फिट करनी है center of the wheel. It makes the wheel and axle. When we rotate the wheel, if you are rotating the wheel, it results in the rotation of axle. जब आप व्हील को रोटेट करते हैं तो वो किसको रोटेट करते हैं? एक्सल को रोटेट करता है. फोर्स इज ट्रांसफर टू द एक्सल बाय द व्हील. व्हील के थ्रू कहाँ एक्सर्ट होती है फोर्स? एक्सल पे. Now steering wheel of a vehicle is an example of wheel and axle arrangement. When we rotate the steering wheel, a force acts on the axle. जब आप steering wheel, जो कि मैंने आपको अभी दिखाया था, गाड़ी का steering, जब आप उसके व्हील को मूव कराते हैं तो फोर्स एक्ट ऑन द एक्सल एंड दिस रिजल्ट्स इन द चेंज ऑफ डायरेक्शन. और ये क्या करती है? व्हीकल की डायरेक्शन को चेंज करता है. नाउ यू आर यूजिंग अ डोर नॉब एट योर होम. जब आप डोर को ओपन करना है आपने, सो यू आर यूजिंग अ डोर नॉब. घर पे होते हैं ना सर्कुलर, these are called door knob. Then steering wheel, we are using steering wheel in the wheel and axle. In the screwdrivers we are using wheel and axle. Sewing machine we are using a wheel and axle. In the bicycle pedal we are using a wheel and axle. Pedal सभी को पता है ना, जिससे आप पैरों से मूव करते हैं. So these are the bicycle pedal. Without pedal you can't ride a cycle. So these are the examples of wheel and axle.
पूरा वीडियो देखने के लिए और लेटेस्ट एग्जाम अपडेट्स जानने के लिए डाउनलोड करें कैरियर डिफेंस स्कूल का एंड्रॉयड ऐप.